Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is John Barksdale, and I'm here to share with you another Ormeus Ecosystem Ask Me Anything. Now I'm excited and I have a ton of information to share with you today. So I will curb my enthusiasm slightly to make sure that my voice is perfectly clear and you can understand the words that I'm saying in a succinct, precise fashion as we go through all of this exciting news. Today, we have some major announcements and updates to keep everything on track as what we've been moving forward, at the same time to give you the solid information you need to understand on exactly where we are as an ecosystem as a whole. Now, first of all, I'm going to go back to our Ormeus ecosystem just to lay out the groundwork. And the framework of a indomitable ecosystem requires multiple facets in order to achieve the goal. Now, when you first seen this, you thought, wow, that's a lot of information. And as you notice here, this is not everything in the entire Ormeus ecosystem, but these are the things that are currently being worked on heavily. I'm going to go through each one of these and break down a little bit of how the functionality works, as well as answer the question that you have for the AMA and then posted in the Telegram group earlier this week. So in this slide, I'll also share with you how each part of the ecosystem is evolving and where we are in each phase and where we are currently and where we're taking this in the near future. So the next slide I have is something that shows you exactly percentage on each component of the entire ecosystem and how it's all starting to function and work together. Now we're in a pre-market phase for our major products. Now, most people might think that we've been marketing the entire time, but we haven't really been heavily marketing since late 2017, early 2018 because of the major decline in cryptocurrency. And I'm a person that will tell a story from a mountaintop if I can see that that story has a perfect line of fruition and I can see how a system can come and build and throughout. And as we all know, during some of those times in the dark times of cryptocurrency, when the market was crashing all around us, it would have been a lot harder to market a story based around cryptocurrency by itself. So we took our time to rebuild the ecosystem and to develop products that we could talk about no matter what, whether the market was up or down. And so we could get even more excited and be able to go out and build something and take it to the entire world marketplace. So let's cover some housekeeping and some of the things that are done in the past, which is our token swap. We'll spend some time on that. We'll spend some time on how it's all put together. We'll talk about mining as a whole. We'll talk about Ecocillium, and Ecocillium is our crypto bank. So if you see over on the left side, the crypto banking space is held by Ecocillium because this is our DeFi dashboard. This is a decentralized financial mechanism that allows you to do banking-like instruments in cryptocurrency from the comfort of your own personal cold wallet. We'll also talk more about the DAO itself. The DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So what that does is it allows our company to have the ability to have business decisions preset and pre-formatted so someone can come to this opportunity and see this system and not have any interaction with an individual human and still be able to make a decision to make a commitment to a smart contract. And the smart contracts are infallible. So our entire ecosystem now is currently being developed and being put into that type of a scenario. And I'll spend some more time on that later. We also have our mining update. We'll talk about that right off the bat. And we have our ORV 3.0. The last few months, there's been a ton of things happening. And we haven't had the AMA consistently, but we've been preparing and putting out updates so that everybody would have something coming out every single week and multiple times a week. And we've been without fail on getting that schedule set up. That is preparing the groundwork so that when we do go mainstream, we have a fluent ecosystem information channel happening to our users all the time. So our news and media aspect of our business is becoming way more fluent than it was. And the ORV 3.0, we'll spend some more time on that throughout the presentation, is super, super exciting. because we really are one of a kind as far as a cryptocurrency opportunity. We're a business asset backed cryptocurrency, not just a cryptocurrency that goes out and sells the currency itself. And that's really most of the time cryptocurrency, that's their only product. But cryptocurrency is a currency, it's not a product by itself. There has to be something else that supports the mechanism in order for it to be truly valuable. And that's what our businesses are all about. We'll also talk a little bit about OMC Go and how the beta test is going now that we've got it rolled out. The app will be available for download shortly. Within this month, people will be able to actually utilize the app, download the app as soon as the next coming week. So we're very excited about that development. That's an amazing product, and we'll spend some more time on that as well. I will be doing, and I will bring on the team from Pragma, and we'll do a separate AMA to talk about the development of Pragma in the near future. So there's a lot of exciting things going on there. And if you look at it as we build our entire ecosystem, that is the heart of our ecosystem. There hasn't been a ton of information being put out currently about that. And you're going to see that change dramatically over the next few months because we had to build everything around it to be able to have this part of our ecosystem function, because the assets and the businesses and the tokens and all of that go back to support the Pragma Foundation. And you'll see how all that works together. We have some great people working there. We are already giving donation and already have been giving donations to the projects that are listed. And we'll spend a solid amount of time sharing with you what Pragma is all about. So let's dive right in. Go ahead and lean back in your chair, relax, and enjoy the show. Take notes for anything that you may have. I'll try to go as smooth and calmly, but still excited as possible while covering all this for you. Sometimes I get a little too excited and go a little fast, and we all know that. So I will do my best to make sure that I keep this on an even keel throughout the process. But to tell you the truth, I am ecstatic. I am more excited today than I ever have been about our ecosystem. And some people may not understand why that is until you see this entire presentation and you realize where we are in the current marketplace and realize how perfectly posed for growth we are when we go out into the marketplace. So let's talk about our first subject. Our first subject is going to be mining. Now, our mining ecosystem is a phenomenal model. It's a model like no other. It's a system that allows us to mine an asset and then utilize the asset that we mine to support the market, as well as build a reserve vault value. We've been able to build an extremely strong reserve vault value, and now we're going to be switching more of our focus towards the market of the cryptocurrencies themselves. Now that we have a solid reserve vault, we're going to be spending more time and energy and more of the resources on consuming the tokens back from the market and bringing the coins up to the reserve vault value. Now, I know today the ORV supports the Ormeus coin. In the future, the ORV with Ecocillium will support more than just the Ormeus coin. But today, let's talk about the Ormeus coin and let's talk about the mining system. So after doing extensive amount of research on mining as a whole and looking at all of the different opportunities that exist out there and seeing where DeFi and where the marketplace is going and looking at opportunities as far as positioning ourselves on where do we expand our current mining operation. And I'm going to give you sharing with you some different information basically on the different opportunities that exist in mining and how we're going to scale this mining process step by step into more than just Bitcoin mining as our primary. Currently, we're our primary mining Bitcoin. We did have Dash mining at one point in time, but Dash mining has become unprofitable to where we have spent majority of our time on mining Bitcoin. Now, the next step is we're looking heavily at scaling our Ethereum operation. And I will share with you how that works, and I'll also give you an update on the current mining that we have currently. So currently, we have 30 petahash that has been moved to our new location. It's moved to the new location already, which is exciting. So that will be getting up and running over the next month or so. It is all the shelving and everything needs to be all completed, put in, and it will be on. And then when it's on, it just has to cover the cost of the moving. So you can see here, this is what 30 petahash produces. You can go out and look at a mining calculator, get familiar with how mining works. You really should, to get to know the project as a whole and to understand how scaling works, and also to see really the flow of the whole entire process, so you know how much resources can be put in at any one point in time into any part of the ecosystem from the mining. So what we're looking at and taking a heavy push towards is mining Ethereum and mining ERC20 tokens. For one, they're extremely undervalued at the current rate. With all the aspect that's happening in the Ether marketplace and with some of the top level coins that are out there that are still mineable through Ethereum, if you look at just the sheer numbers alone, the investment for return is much higher on Ethereum. So if we take and just take a look at this is investment in buying new Ethereum equipment. This is we already have our mining equipment for the first 30 petahash here, and I'll show you what it takes to scale to the next level as well. We are looking at to be on track for our roadmap, which is putting our ecosystem to 100 petahash. Now, what we're looking at doing, because of the dramatic difference in profit per cost, is instead of scaling only in Bitcoin, is to scale heavily as well in Ethereum. So instead of being 100% Bitcoin, we're now currently putting a whole vote scenario for this, and this will be one of the things that are on the DAO structure as a ballot, as something that the community members are going to be able to vote for in the future, is where resources are spent and how they're spent. Now, this is a new injection investment into the project, something that we're putting together currently to scale from the 30 petahash into 100 petahash. 100 petahash. And the model looks like this. So for an investment of 2.6 million, it will bring us to 100 petahash of Bitcoin mining equipment. Now, this compared to Ethereum, it is in a different rate for hash, but it gives you the same idea of understanding of how the returns can come back. So we spend the same amount on Ethereum. For Bitcoin, your profits after costs are about $49,000 a month. Buyback, $20,000 a month. And then scaling, which would be 60%, would go back into scaling into more equipment, would be $29,000 a month. For Ethereum, you're looking at profit after cost about $265,000 a month. This is after your power cost. Buyback is $106,000 a month, and scaling $159,000 a month. So you can see that Ethereum is really the obvious choice, but we'll let the DAO voting system decide how that's going to function. Now, let's take this to another level and talk a little bit about how Ecocillium is going to change our entire ecosystem as we know it. See, Ecocillium has the ability to attach to yield farming opportunities. And I'm going to give you a taste of this and kind of go through some more detail. DeFi yield farming is one of the new advents of cryptocurrency. And this allows you to create things like liquidity pools and also things where you can actually put funds into place and earn an interest back on those funds locked through smart contracts. Now, the same cost, 2.6 million, as you can see with the Ethereum mining, like we covered. Buyback, those are the numbers. And with Ecocillium, we're actually able to lock that same amount of funds, not spend the resources, and earn back an $87,000 a month for buyback. At the same time, compound and build a larger asset. So let me share with you a little bit more about Ecocillium and about the DeFi marketplace as a whole, and how this is going to enhance our ecosystem to a level that we've never seen before. It will continue to go forward with mining and will continue to build out our ecosystem. As we said, things in the marketplace change, and we have to be smart enough as business people, and all of you are going to have votes on how this occurs in the near future, to be nimble and to be able to move in the marketplace and find and seek opportunity when they are blazing hot. And this is a blazing hot, fiery orange opportunity when you think about DeFi itself. DeFi, decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is started about a year and a half ago. And when it started, it took it about 12 months to get to $1 billion in total assets locked in smart contracts. And in the last 4 months, that billion has went from 1 billion to 12 billion. So it's the fastest growing space in cryptocurrency as a whole. And if we compare it against CeFi, there's so many things that are happening currently in the marketplace in CeFi that is causing quite amount of turbulence for individual users. Just recently, one of the exchanges that we were actually heavily looking at listing our tokens on through our partner was OKEX. Now, OKEX founders were arrested in China a few weeks back. So all the funds for that time period were locked up. We have to be able to secure and be safe for our users and our members. We've experienced Cryptopia. We know what happens when an exchange gets hacked or if the owners go away. Hiobi went through the same situation where the millions, tens, hundreds of millions of cryptocurrency funds were locked up. That was in the CeFi marketplace. So we're diverting our energy and efforts away from CeFi and more into DeFi. We will work with CeFi exchanges, but only if they have their system structurally set up properly to where they have cold wallets and they have it to where there's not a hackability, and they have to have it to where that the platform itself cannot go down because of one individual or a few individuals making the wrong decision. We've experienced that before, and it's the most painful thing in the world. What does DeFi do that eliminates that issue? DeFi allows smart contracts to interact directly. We're using the Ethereum code to build a smart contract, and instead of you having to trade on an exchange, you're now trading off exchange from the comfort of your own wallet. When those trades happen, the fees go back to the users. The fees go back to the platform itself instead of them going to the centralized financial exchange. So now instead of a individual exchange making all the millions of dollars that is made in cryptocurrency trading, you as a user and the platforms of DeFi go back to kick back to support our ecosystem. And in our ecosystem specifically, Ecocillium kicks back to the users by supporting the tokens. And when the trades are done on the platform, all of those resources are put into the liquidity pools and then paid out to members. So the liquidity pools are one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is yield farming. We'll spend a little bit more time on yield farming. Yield farming, I will share with you way more detail on how we do what we do, but we have something very, very unique in the yield farming place. But if we look at mining and farming, these are two hot topics. Mining will be good and sometimes better. Sometimes will be absolutely great, and then other times it's going to be a lot less valuable. DeFi yield farming opportunity today is the most profitable thing that you can do with rewards and with funds inside of a system. It's the most profitable thing you can do in cryptocurrency in the marketplace today. So if you have your money and you're investing or placing somewhere in DeFi, you can place your funds, staking them onto a platform and not actually spend the actual asset, which means every single human being becomes a mining machine in a sense to mine their own resources and also to mine for the platform. So you're putting your funds into a lock scenario, or you're putting your funds just into a scenario where it's just connected to the wallet. You're connecting it to the wallet, you're issued a token from the platform. The contract is between you and the smart contract. Therefore, no matter what happens to any of the companies that exist inside of DeFi, you are completely protected and completely safe because the smart contract will unravel when it finishes. So in Ecocillium, you have the option to lock or not lock. And in Ecocillium, you have a really strong economic plan because you have the ability to earn profits off from tokens that are staked. And you can earn these profits on a consistent basis. And the platform is right on the edge of launch. We're in a beta phase today, and this is the most exciting time because we've built 45 smart contracts. Most platforms have less, most platforms don't have any of the connectivity, and most platforms are not near as simple to function the way that Ecocillium functions. Ecocillium is extremely simple user interface. It's beautifully done. It's very simplistic, but it's also extremely powerful. I'm going to go through some numbers with you and share with you how Ecocillium can support our ecosystem on a level that we've never been able to do before, and a scalability that we can do without purchasing equipment alone. Not to take anything away from mining, it has its place, but this is a business that has multiple facets to it, and the multiple facets will allow us to scale in down and up times. And we have to be able to do that. We have to be able to scale our business, whether the market is going up or down, and we have to be able to scale our business, whether it's in the mining aspect or the software aspect. We always look for ways to grow and always look for ways to be able to continually market this absolutely amazing project. So this is our economical plan. Our economical plan, if we look at the way that this system goes, we're paying out 3 times what any other company pays out in stable coins or in high yielding coins like Ethereum, for example. Now you can see that says 30% on dollar value. That example gives you an idea and understanding that if you have $1 and you keep it in for 1 year, you can make 30% basically on your dollar. If you keep it in for longer, you can make even more. So our system is paying out 3 times what the average DeFi yield farming opportunity in the marketplace, or even if you look at the CeFi opportunities, like any of the big exchanges, even the big B, they pay about 7%. We're paying 3 times that, and we're paying it in dollar value. So that means if the token goes up in value, you make more. You'll get less tokens at the time being, but you'll also make more of the length of it. And if the token goes down in value, you're still getting the same amount of tokens. And so you have the opportunity, they're liquid, they're in your wallet, they're set automatically, calculating on a moment by moment. So let's take a look at how this compounding effect is really going to affect the market buyback and the opportunity for buyback as a whole. Now, Ecocillium, we're launching this platform. Our goal is to have this platform completed in its beta phase in this month alone. So we're now working rigorously to test everything and to make sure all the information is fully complete. Now, people ask me exactly when it's going to be complete, and I say, when the software is ready, we will launch. When the beta is complete and when everything is the way that it needs to be, we will launch. A lot of people keep asking to come to this extremely beautiful luxury resort, and the construction workers are still here. We cannot launch this before it's completely ready. And this stitch in time that we're doing by making this perfected will be something that will be extremely happy that we did, because this system is not like anything else that the marketplace has ever seen. No one has developed a technology that gives the ability to give this type of a consistent return and has a system to back it. So let's talk about how this can affect the buyback and affect the ORV and affect the entire market that we're stepping into. So with this product, for one, we're able to go mainstream. We'll talk more about that soon. This is a $3 million in the platform. Now, this is funds being locked in the platform through users. This is really the tipping point of when you'll start to see tokens go in a upward trajectory on a consistent driving forward basis. This 3 million is preset assets that are already committed to the platform before we launch the platform. Now, I know all of you out there that are watching this AMA say, well, are you counting me? We're not counting you. This is what we are preset and have committed to the platform before the platform rolls out. When it rolls into the market, anything above this will be more to affect the ecosystem and affect the token values as well. So as you can see, this is, and if you kept someone put this locked in for a 36 months period, you would have an average of $347,000 a month buyback. And the asset is growing and they're earning on it as well. We're compounding 60% of the asset, and then 40% is going to buyback. Now, let's say we hit 7 million. Now, I've seen DeFi platforms start off and go to billions of dollars within weeks. I am not saying that Ecocillium is going to go to $1 billion in a week. And I personally would not want it to go to $1 billion the first week. I'll be okay with that in 6 months, but not 1 week. We have a system that we want to grow in a concise, consistent basis. This is a $1 trillion play. It has to be done right. It has to, the time that it takes to do it, even as painful that it is, needs to be done. We're going to look back on this in the upcoming years and realize that the time we took to make this right was so, so worth it. And there's no way you can't take an airplane off and work on the airplane while it's in the sky. This is getting ready to take off. And when this launches, we will have a mainstream product again. So 7 million. 7 million in assets is not much. It'll be a little bit more than double of what we start with. The average buyback with 7 million in asset is about $800,000 a month. So we have something with this that's going to give us the ability to scale dramatically. It's also something that is going to affect our token value. And we could take these numbers into much higher numbers as far as what's going to come into the platform. Because when people find that they can keep a stable coin or Ethereum and lock it into a platform and earn over 20% per year on a consistent basis with a well-trading coin, it's going to go viral. There is no way for this information to be stopped once people see the rewards and returns and then see the technology behind it. And we are a very small community today. I'll spend some time talking about that. A loyal, amazing community that I have a huge amount of love in my heart for, but we are a very small community. Now let's look at Ecocillium and your economic plan. For an individual, you now have the ability for your Ormeus tokens to work for you and to work for you in a smart contract scenario so that it's consistent and completely safe. Now, with locking, there is an option for you to earn even more than the normal slab rate. So these are some percentages to show you how you can actually build your Ormeus asset. This, if with your Ormeus or Ormeus Eco or OMC asset, you lock your asset or put your asset into the platform, connect it to the smart contract, and now you're able to gain more of the asset without putting any extra funds into the system. You're not spending anything extra, you're just putting your funds into the platform. And if you use it for USDT or Ethereum, you're able to earn a 24% APY just on the slab rate alone. Now there's locked rates that are even better than slab rates. But if you look at these numbers, this is a better than return on a solid system that your funds are not being spent, but connected to smart contracts so that you can earn a yield return on it on a consistent basis. Now this happens, tokens go up in value, the ecosystem starts to drive further, and that whole flywheel effect, and it starts to roll and compound and continue to compound and build value. You make money, the ecosystem makes money, the token values are increased by increased buyback. This one component of our ecosystem, which has been a ton of energy and effort put into, is going to make the tipping point occur. And we'll be able to accelerate much quicker than we would have ever been able to accelerate, even if we had hundreds of millions of dollars in the mining world. This is a way we can scale with those type of resources, even without making a purchase. These are all connected smart contracts and the assets are completely safe. And I'm going to share with you today some of the exciting enhancements that we're enhancing to Ecocillium before launch and before. We're in beta. We're getting questions back all the time from all of our users. We're loving the beta process. It's exciting. It's nice to be able to actually communicate directly with our people and get their feedback on every aspect of the Ecocillium product. While getting feedback, we're able to see some of the kinks and some of the things that aren't working perfectly and make sure that those are all completely flattened out and perfected before we take this into the current marketplace. And I want to thank all of you beta testers for being there through this beta process, learning this system. Some of you are brand new to DeFi, some of you are brand new to crypto, but it's really giving us an eclectic mix of users to understand exactly how we want to scale this thing into the future. Now, we have an option inside of the system called Earn. And in the Earn scenario, you're able to lock your tokens in for different rates and get an extra percentage on top. So if you lock in for 12 months, your APY now goes up an extra 6%. So if you are looking at locking in for 24 months, that's double. So it's basically 3% extra every 6 months in your lock, which is super exciting for users and super exciting for our members. But also you have to think about this for people that have not experienced the ecosystem, don't have Ormeus tokens, but just want to lock in their USDT. So now you can see someone can actually get a annualized return of higher than any other place in the entire world on USDT and on Ethereum, by far 3 times what the averages in the industry place. And they're every single year, just imagine another 3% lock for every year in your annualized return. So this is massive. This is something that is changing and going to change the game of cryptocurrency, especially for our current ecosystem. It's going to make it to where our system scales in a much faster fashion, fluently through smart contracts. And we're adding some features continually to Ecocillium. Ecocillium now currently has first 3 tabs. So the wallet, earn, swap, and treasury tab. The equalizer feature is coming here in the near future, and these are liquidity pools and shared pools. This allows you to put your own token up into the pool and as trading happens, you'll be able to make the profits off from the trading that occurs. When someone uses a swap feature, when someone goes through and uses any of the functions that are trading inside of Ecocillium, Equalizer will give you the balancer of those pools and allow the system to make a profit, giving you the reward for being the person that puts the liquidity up. Now, currently the wallet tab is for connecting. The earn tab is where I showed you just a moment ago with all those different yield returns. And the earn tab and the treasury are currently participating in something called yield farming. Now, we've built something called an oracle. Now, an oracle, you might think, what is that? And most people think of this probably when they think oracle, like it's over there reading information. Well, what it does actually, it is kind of similar to this, except for like Chainlink is a good example. Chainlink is a price feed discovery tool. We built a Chainlink-like technology behind Ecocillium, and it is currently searching every moment for the best yield farming opportunities. The reason we're able to give those types of returns that we're giving is because we can find the best yield farming opportunities, connect with our ORV, which currently has an asset value, connect those smart contracts to new smart contracts, yield farm higher percentages than we're giving in returns, which allows the ecosystem to grow in value, as well as the asset of the user to grow in value, at the same time bringing back and buying back off the cryptocurrency market. So our Oracle is a intelligent, artificially intelligent, as well as tied together with multiple smart contracts. This system is behind Ecocillium and is one of the most robust, if not the most robust, oracles that has ever been put together in cryptocurrency as a whole. So that's Ecocillium, guys. I wanted to share that information with you. Mining is a business. Ecocillium is a business. The Ecocillium business is just about ready to launch. We are planning to have it done and ready to roll by the end of this month. Now it's just about testing. This next couple of weeks is going to be just vigorous testing. Get through there. If you're already a user, we'll be bringing in new batches of users over these next coming weeks to make sure that we get all of this worked out before the end of this month to get this thing kicked off and have an amazing Happy New Year for everybody. So let's talk a little bit more about how Ecocillium helps our ecosystem. One side is our token swap. So you can actually, for the amount of users that are left, there's not very many. There's under 1,000. I think it's about 600 people that have not got their tokens completely swapped. So what we're doing is, while our buyback system is buying back tokens and issuing tokens to cover the swaps, is you can now take your tokens and put them into Ecocillium, your previous balance from your wallet address, lock into Ecocillium. It's a 90-day lock, and that 90-day lock, it will kick back out all of your coins. You can swap and have your Ormeus wrap token for the time being, so you'll earn an interest during that process, and the swap will automatically complete in that time. So token swap is completed. Now all you have to do is go to Ecocillium and put your information in, contact one of our Telegram customer service representatives. There will be a custom video about this part alone that will go out that shows you exactly how to do it. The video is being developed currently right now. So over the next few days, you're going to see this video come out and give you the ability to basically get any tokens that you had that were on different platforms, different back offices, and all of those things It's a breath of fresh air to be able to have this completed for our ecosystem so everyone can get the tokens that they deserve. Anything that was ever accumulated by the users is going to be in the swap process. If you had tokens in any marketing company or any back office company or an Airwire and they weren't swapped through the system, they will be available here in Ecocillium. So let's talk a little bit more now about making this system fully autonomous. See, it's important for us to have a decentralized organization. This decentralized autonomous organization takes away the figurehead, takes away the individual leadership, in a sense that each one of us can be now consider themselves a leader and part of how this ecosystem is going to grow. We have resources. We have more resources than most cryptocurrency companies in the entire marketplace. We're one of the most undervalued projects in the world as far as businesses as a whole. And now we're going to give our users the voting rights to be able to make proposals and to put pledges up to say, hey, this is what I would like to see in the future of the ecosystem, and this part of the project is currently under development. We're now just getting all the business rules in place to make sure that this part of the ecosystem is solid and dialed in completely. The base structure is completed already. Now the next part of it is to scale it to our specific business rules and to customize it so that it is specifically set up for the Ormeus ecosystem to be our decentralized autonomous organization and function with complete succinct fashion so that this system is able to, with all of the business rules and all of the things that we have throughout our ecosystem, it is quite a complex project when you look at it as a whole. Now the DAO part of it is going to allow us to have the ability to have that all that functionality controlled by voting mechanisms. It's all autonomous, so it's done through smart contract, and anytime something needs to be changed in these mechanisms, it will be done through a process. So it's a new type of structure where humans input is minimal. Once completely set up, it's a predefined set of computer hard-coded rules to determine the operation and running organizations. It is more precise than any of the current voting systems that exist that are outside of decentralized finance and that are outside of cryptocurrency. It's built on the Ethereum smart contract structure, and our business rules will be completely governed and sound. The DAO structure that we have went with has been vetted by multiple regulatory agencies throughout the world. So with multiple regulatory agencies seeing and saying that this is what's approved as a DAO, that gives us a bit of a regulatory shield because now we are functioning not as a single organization, but as an autonomous multiple user organization to every single one of our members now have the voting rights to make a decision and to put power into our ecosystem in one direction or another. The system is functioning as far as the base structure of it. We're now putting into the business rules of it. It's going to look something like this, and this is basically if someone puts a proposal up. It'll be a little bit nicer than this, but it'll put a proposal up, and then you'll have the opportunity to vote on that proposal. Anyone can put a proposal up. If you have tokens, you have Ormeus Coin or Ormeus Ecosystem or any of our tokens, you'll have the ability to put those up as governance tokens. So governance tokens are give you the vote to right, the right to vote, and you having the right to vote now makes you part as an owner really of this ecosystem. So you can help control the growth of the ecosystem as we scale it out as a whole. It also will work through DeFi, so you'll be connecting through your wallet to get to connect to this as well. It'll read your wallet address. If your coins are on Ecocillium, it'll also read the coins that are on Ecocillium and give you a report of exactly what coins you have and the power of your voting power. What the weight of your vote is all based on the amount of tokens that you have inside of your wallets. The next I want to cover with you today is OMC Go. Now, I think a lot of people might be confused a little bit on what OMC Go is, but what OMC Go is like a super point of sale system. It's a super point of sale system in the sense that it turns a device into the ability to be a POS, but on top of that, it allows to anyone in the marketplace where the device is to order cryptocurrency directly from a user and pay in hand cash to buy that cryptocurrency, or do bank transfer. Bank transfer has been done before, but we now have that system in place. And then also for up and development countries, having the ability to process cash transactions is a big deal. Our partner in Saigon is currently doing about $2 to $3 million a day in transactions. They were up to about 4 million when DeFi was in its big push. Bitcoin continues to become more and more popular in these marketplaces, And this is not just our coins. You can see the little guy there, he's got a Bitcoin in the back. So anytime a transaction is done with any cryptocurrency and someone wants to pay for it in cash to onboard into the space, one of the harder things about cryptocurrency is figuring out, how do you get started? How does a new person get in? This system gives you the ability to make it to where any new person can get started, get involved, and get into cryptocurrency as a whole. And what happens is OMC, the system, takes a small percentage of those profits to mint OMC stablecoins. Now, OMC stable is the next rendition of OMC, our Ormeus cash system. So this not just enhances the ability for POS because the device and the software has a point of sale system as well. It also makes it to where the individual is able to get currency delivered directly to them, no matter where they're located. Let's say you land from an airport and you forgot your wallet or just didn't bring cash with you. You can now, within 15 minutes of your location or schedule, if it's a larger amount, have cash delivered to you anywhere in the Saigon region. And within District 1, in that area, you're going to be able to have cash delivered directly to you. This will scale. This will be the first market that we demo this product. We beta test it in this market, and then it'll scale into multiple markets in the future. It's a turnkey product. It's like an Uber for cryptocurrency. When you have something that is this powerful, it needs to be perfected as it launches. And we'll be using the markets that are existing currently to scale this out. You can imagine how fast OMC stable is going to be minted as we scale through this process. The more transactions that occur, the more tokens that are minted. They're minted stable based on the amount of transactions that are done. So this is transactional minting. It's like mining, except for you're making a token based on the transaction backed by USDT, backed by a dollar. Every OMC coin will be backed by at least, every OMC stablecoin will be backed by at least $1. Now there's OMC in the marketplace today, and some people really, it hasn't clicked yet, the light bulb hasn't turned on in their heads that every single OMC coin is going to be minted at $1. So if you currently have an OMC balance of 100,000 or 5,000, every one of those tokens eventually will be swapped for an individual OMC stable token. That'll be done through the Ecocillium platform. OMC will feed back its profits and create stable tokens, and as those stable tokens are minted, they will be split up between the users that put their tokens in the platform. The swap process will be automatic, it'll be on an ongoing basis, and it'll allow every single person that is utilizing OMC today to have that stable asset value. So this is a very exciting project and deserves a presentation by itself. But to give you a little bit of update information, there will be more updates coming here in the near future about OMC and OMC Go, because it is the Uber of cryptocurrency. Uber, Go, it is the way that crypto will be onboarded in some major marketplaces, traditional currencies in the cryptocurrencies in a smoother, quicker, simpler, easier fashion than ever been done before. And it allows us to build our stable token as well, which will give us some major advantages in the marketplace to have a stable token. Along with OMC Go, we will have a debit card attached to Go. So the debit card right now, the reason why we don't have it currently at this current moment is because we've found a vendor. Now we're just waiting for that vendor. We've approved with the vendor. Everything is set. They have an amazing, really cool titanium debit card as well. Everything is set except for they don't have the availability for Visa and MasterCard in the Asian markets yet. They're expecting that first quarter of 2021, they'll have the availability for Visa, MasterCard. When that happens, then we will have a debit card attached to your Ecocillium platform. So just imagine the economical plan with a debit card attached to it, where your rewards are coming in on a daily basis or moment by moment basis, and you're able to go out directly and use that for groceries. Your economical plan becomes much more realized when you realize that now all you really need to do, figure out the amount of money that you need to live on a yearly basis, get that into either stable or one of the tokens that are growing in value. If you don't want to speculate, buy a USDT coin, and don't speculate, plug it in, get your up to 30% per year and get that in the token, and then utilize that to cover life. You now can take control of your financial future and have all of the instruments and tools that are required to do that, and soon to be on a debit card. Now, some more exciting news. I told you I wasn't going to get too excited on this call because I want to be clear and not just super hyper, but I get really excited. And this is so exciting. It's more exciting than listing on the biggest CeFi exchange in the world. And we've talked about this before, but we are currently approved and liquidity pools are established. And now we're just waiting for the beta test to be completed for Ecocillium to roll out officially our listing on Uniswap. Now, Uniswap is a newer exchange than some of the big CeFi exchanges, but the user base is the fastest growing user base in all of cryptocurrency as a whole. They have over $3 billion in assets locked in their liquidity pools. So $3 billion worth of liquidity. There's no exchange in the world that can say that they have anything close to that. It is a huge place for us to launch our DeFi platform. It's all set, all locked in. When Ecocillium beta rolls, this will automatically be on with liquidity pools in place. Liquidity pools are in place, and we'll turn this system on at the same time as our DeFi platform launches. So we'll be pushing ahead with a vertical listing on Uniswap, which is major, major, major. And then we have one other exchange that attaches all DeFi exchanges together. These are DEX platforms, which are decentralized exchanges. So it ties together Uniswap, it ties together any of the other DeFi DEX type platforms and gives us the liquidity from all of the platforms in one place. So now all liquidity pools, even the Ecocillium liquidity pool eventually, will be attached. And Mooniswap or 1inch has an exchange platform as well. So you can do the same thing that you would do in DeFi. And if you haven't tried DeFi, you just got to get in there and try it because you'll get excited too. When you fully understand what is going on here, you'll realize that this is the wave of the future for cryptocurrency. It's fulfilling on every promise that cryptocurrency made in the beginning. The problems, the exchanges can be problems. We've seen that. Now, these exchanges are all smart contract exchanges. Uniswap had 3 billion in assets, proving it, growing by millions of users per month. Not fake a bull. It's impossible for them to be able to fake these assets. These are assets locked in smart contracts, and they did this in under a year. Now we're locking in our smart contracts to their smart contracts and growing with them. So with these two major, major, major exchange lists, the biggest exchanges we've ever been listed on anywhere ever, and they're infallible in their technology in the aspect of a smart contract, meaning that there is no way for someone to hack and steal the resources. This is all done through smart contracts. You'd have to hack Ethereum itself in order to hack a DeFi smart contract. So next thing that I want to share with you guys is the ORV 3.0. So far, this is our most major enhancement to the ORV. The ORV is being considered a store of value and built as a store of value system for the ecosystem. And I know a lot of you are like, well, when is it going to hit the ORV floor price? The fact is, the mining aspect will help. Ecocillium will dramatically help. When we hit that tipping point, you'll start to see trajectories go in levels that we have not seen since we launched our tokens originally, since we launched Ormeus Coin originally. You'll see trajectories like this because the resources gather and build towards. And all of these businesses support the tokens at the same time as being traditional businesses. So we've got the traditional market making, and that's on the system. The market making aspect of our business is where market making, we're supporting the value of our coins, we're utilizing the buyback profits to support the values of the coin. Eco businesses are things that come into our ecosystem. Currently, right now, if you can see what's lit up here, mining, Bitcoin mining, buyback liquidity going into the buyback bot. Now we are going to have 3 new aspects of liquidity going into the buyback bot. OMC Go, Ecocillium, and our DAO system will all be functioning with the buyback bot. So now we have all of these extra resources heading back to support the value of our token. And the ORV is going to attach every single aspect of this, fully transparent. You won't have to ask anybody any questions. You'll go to a site, you can look at the actual smart contract and see that activity happening moment by moment. Everything will be completely visual in front of you. We're going to do it in a beautiful fashion so that it is simplistic enough to understand, but also detailed enough so that if you really want to get down in there and dig in there and see exactly what's going on, you'll have the ability to do that. So the ORV 3.0 is a major enhancement to the operating system of our entire ecosystem. The reason why that it is such a major enhancement is because now anyone has any question of transparency whatsoever, all you have to do is go to the ORV and take a look at it. You'll see everything as it's happening. It's under development now. We expect this to be done first quarter, possibly sooner, but we're expecting at least first quarter to have it fully rolled out and ready to go. Right now, our main focus is getting Ecocillium out of the gate. And the reason why that is so important to us is because we are a very small community compared to where we are going. Beautiful community. And a lot of people have this idea in their heads that we've been marketing for 2.5 years and we just can't get out into the marketplace. And we're like trying really hard to market. And that's where we're at, is what a lot of people somehow have this idea in their head. It is definitely not the case. Okay. From a marketing background, I want to show you some things to maybe help you understand that we are not driving the market without the products being finished. But when the products are finished, we will drive the market. And then you can make a decision of saying, oh, it looks successful or not. So here's some Google Analytics. Here's our websites. And this is including admins and clicks and everything else. So you can see that Eco, the website, was clicked on 293 times. Orm was clicked on 531 times, and total impressions, 7,000 impressions. So altogether, less than 10,000 views on our websites. Okay, and then we'll look at our social communities. Social communities, we have 1,000 followers on Instagram. We have 500,000 followers on Facebook, and then we have 20,000 followers on Ormeus. Now, most of these are on Telegram. Most of these are not extremely active followers because we're not marketing currently. So these are the numbers that exist, all simple, small numbers. We're a very small community. And it's a beautiful thing for all of you that are involved. And I know that it's been painful for us not being like in full marketing phase during the times of product development. But understand, it's like you're inside of a pre-IPO type of a scenario. You're in a place where a product was in place and it became less profitable, that product, than what now is coming into place. And what's in place now is extreme and makes the marketplace open up completely. We'll be able to go back and market the way that we marketed originally, but with more aggression into the marketplace. And getting views and getting eyeballs in front of our websites is not hard to do. We just have to turn it on. So currently, Telegram, 20K members in our community. You see there's maybe 1,000 users online. And where we're taking this, for Facebook by itself, just for an example, we'll start a marketing campaign on Facebook with 100,000 minimum to views to our system per day, just Facebook alone. We'll scale that into 1 million in short order. We'll do the same thing with Telegram, start Telegram at 5,000 and then scale that as well. Then YouTube will start a full-fledged marketing campaign there. We'll be marketing on Cointelegraph, and we'll also be marketing on Instagram. So figure about 150 to 200,000 eyeballs, views going towards our platform when we roll out Ecocillium. When it's complete, we launch and we run forward and we go directly to tell the story of our ecosystem to the world. I could personally go out and see 5 people a day and generate as much volume as our marketplace is generating now. As an individual salesperson going one-on-one, and any of you that are salespeople could do the same thing. We're talking about lifting and mass scale and marketing in every single vertical that exists, and adding a compensation structure to Ecocillium to when you refer Ecocillium to someone as an affiliate, you're able to earn a profit from it as well. So direct marketing from the company, everything will be generated and split through the users that are in the platform, just like we've always done with everything. All the profits from Ecocillium go back to support the system itself, go back to support the tokens itself. We have a product that is ready to go to war in a sense, because we're able to go out and fight the existing systems that are in place and bring the resources into an asset that is built and backed by a real asset, by cryptocurrency assets that are solid real assets, and then cryptocurrency assets that are backed by stable coins. So we're able to build this absolutely amazing, strong vehicle, and then we're able to take the product out into the marketplace without any idea of shame of that we built something that is incorrect. We've built something strong, solid, and technology that will prove it. You'll be able to go through this with a fine-tooth comb on the technology side, on the code side, and you'll see that we've actually put the energy and effort into building something that is unlike anything else in the world. And we'll take and put that into our marketing messages. We'll drive marketing properly. We'll get thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views a day to start. We'll set up our sales organization throughout the entire world, and we'll market this like we've never marketed anything before. We're not marketing today. When it's done, we'll go to market, and you'll see a different view of this entire ecosystem because we're preparing for marketing. Our communication became on point. Our systems are becoming on point. You can see that we're preparing for marketing. In the time of darkness in crypto, we were keeping things together and holding the organization together, just like most companies. We made it through. We didn't go through that time of darkness to not shine extremely bright. So our time is coming, and be patient because it's not that far away. And I know some of you said, I've been patient before. Well, be a little bit more patient because this is going to be different than anything you've ever been involved in yourself, unless you're already a multimillionaire today and you made it from this space. I have, in this space, done that for myself and my family before, and I invested all of my money into this ecosystem. And I am continually, on a daily basis, even with what I know, investing in this ecosystem. And this is where my energy is going to go until the tokens are at $100 a unit. And then I'll take a vacation. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Have an amazing day and follow us on our platforms. I'll speak to you all soon. Good night.